Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the BLNK newest charger. So this is actually quite exciting because it looks fairly familiar. Of course it does. It looks like the Volta charging stations. Now this is actually a very smart thing for BLNK to do. And honestly, I was waiting for someone to do this. And truth to be told, I think this was actually announced earlier than the acquisition of Volta charging. But immediately, once I realized that Shell was going to change everything about Volta once they bought the company, as an investor, I immediately thought, okay, I need a replacement stock. Not just any replacement stock, but I needed a stock that is in the advertisement market that is also producing EV chargers. Now, it was perfect timing for BLNK to get into this market, as Volta seems to be possibly exiting the advertisement market. It's just perfect timing. But let me remind you that Shell has bought everything from Volta, including their IP, their intellectual property, which includes their charger designs, all of their technology. So Shell can easily continue in the advertisement business, and they can develop that to an even bigger standpoint. Now, of course, this is not financial advice, but for myself personally, I immediately thought of two shares. Now, of course, this is not financial advice, but I immediately started to think of solutions. What's the best solution? Well, the best solution at the time was to invest in Shell. Now, because after the acquisition is closed, Volta essentially becomes Shell. So the best way to invest in Volta is to invest directly into Shell. So this is what BLNK's new charging stations look like. And this is what the Volta charging station typically looks like. As you can see, big displays. The better thing about Volta is that they really worked on the design. The design of their charging station is just perfected. And me personally, I'd really like to see Shell continue this business model. But just in case they don't, it's fair to say that there will be other competitors. And I think other competitors will start to realize that there is a big potential in advertisement while providing electric vehicle charging points. So BLNK Charging is here to capitalize on that. Now this is called Vision Point of Charging Advertisement Solution. It says here the BLNK Vision Point of Charge Level 2 charging station is designed to maximize impact of high traffic locations, boasting an overall 55-inch LCD screen for media display. Wow, I didn't think it would be that big. 55 inches, that's the size of my TV. So let's continue. Attract EV drivers with up to 160 amps of output per charger and captivate consumers with striking visual LCD screens capable of displaying static and dynamic advertisement. Fantastic. Static advertisement is just a still image that is not moving. And of course, dynamic advertisement is animation, a commercial, something that's actually moving, like a short film. The more important part is the more users can interact with the display, the better it is for advertisers. So advertisers would be more compelled to invest into BLNK or possibly to use BLNK as a source of advertisement. So the Vision is the perfect point of charge advertisement solution featuring a built-in camera to provide additional security and dual capable configurations with two universal J1772 plugs to charge any electric vehicle, and plug-in hybrid Teslas require an adapter. And I think a lot of Teslas perhaps come with an adapter, or possibly Tesla owners do have their own adapters. That's just the way it is right now, but very fascinating business model. So this is what the charging stations look like apparently. In this image at the top, it looks a bit taller, but in real person it looks quite narrow. But the displays, they are really big. They do look a little bit different at the same time from Volta, but at the same time there is similarities. And I get that probably doesn't make sense, but here's the more important part. Impactful, attract visual to captivate EV drivers while charging, reliable, optimal functionality in a wide range of conditions. That's good. It'll be a lot of conditions out there that these need to function properly in, but they're providing electricity. So the last thing that they need to do is to shut down. So they should be fine. Dynamic LCD screen capable of static and animation video advertisement. And, you know, it just so happens that the Blink charging stock has been going up. It's $13.93 right now. We go back like 5 days ago. This thing was $11.99. It was dead cheap. Let's go back a month ago. Am I right? Let's go back a month ago. $9.93. You know, the really fascinating thing is that this company is actually somewhat undervalued at $708 million. Remember now, Volta got sold for $169 million. That was similar to the actual market cap. So Shell got to buy that company dead cheap. And some people in the market don't like it. They're complaining. They're like, this is unbelievable. They got to buy that company too cheap. Well, what you have to understand is that Shell made the smartest move. Other companies who were hesitant to buy Volta, well, Shell was not. Shell saw the potential in the advertisement business. I don't think they went for Volta just for the locations. I think they went for Volta because of the IP, the intellectual property, the advertisement business, Volta technology that is already built, ready to ship out. You got to understand, Volta has the technology to grow into a big company. Shell brings along the funding. Together, they're going to be a big problem in the EV charging industry. Shell keeps these designs, if they keep the technology, if they continue in the advertisement business that Volta started, I would be happy to invest in Shell. But until I get more information, I'm not lifting a finger. I'm remaining calculative. You've got to remain calculative and take your emotions out of it because this is business. I would have done the same. I would have bought Volta. I honestly would have. The only difference is I would have probably kept it on the open market. But I completely understand why Shell doesn't want to keep it on the open market. It is such a good company with such good IP. They want to keep that all to themselves. They don't want to share it with the rest of the world. Not to mention, if Shell has a secondary company that is low in market cap, it's easy for another company to buy it out. Hostile takeover. Shell preferably wants to avoid all of that dramatic problem. So, yeah, right thing for them to do was just to buy out the company outright and take it off the stock market. I completely understand that. It's business. All we know, Volta might actually remain a private company and they might continue to develop their technology and work closely with Shell to combine their technology to create something even bigger. So ideally, that's what I'd like. I'd like Volta to remain a private company for now and Shell to provide Volta with plenty of funds to build out the charging EV network. They will still be part of the advertisement business, and if I want to invest in Volta, I have to invest in Shell directly. You know, kind of. The only difference is the profits on Shell would be much smaller than the profits on Volta because Volta was insanely undervalued. It was so undervalued, I was sure that this was the one that was going to make my portfolio 10x. But quickly, Shell came along and bought it, wrote me out the deal. But that's what happens when you invest. You invest in a company because you believe in the company. And it turned out I was correct. Some of you were correct for believing in Volta because it was such a good company. Shell had to buy it ASAP. And everyone else was complaining because Shell made the right decision. You can't complain at that. You just have to respect it. So what I'm seeing is that Volta is coming out of that business, out of the stock market. They're probably going to leave. We don't know what's going to happen with their advertisement business, but we'll see in the future. Blink is coming along and say, hey, thank you. I'll take that. I will take that advertisement business, especially if that provides me with 2 revenue of income. You've got to understand, consumers will pay you for the charging capabilities and you can advertise to them at the same time. So Blink is doing the correct thing, and they're cheap as well. Electrified America bought Blink. What if ChargePoint bought them out? What if EVgo bought them out? Truth to be told, Blink is just undervalued. It's not as cheap as Volta, but it could still be bought out. It's one thing I really love about the Blink share is that it's such a hard share to get below $10. You know, it's such a powerful share. It's so strong. It really is strong. This is the 5 years time lapse of Blink charging. You know, everything started to change back in late 2020. And that's where things started to get really fascinating. That's where the true potential showed out. Share price went to as high as $49. probably $50 around early 2021. That's what, 1 year ago. So 1 year, 1 month, 1 year, 2 months. Hey, listen. So naturally, the price has been going down gradually since then. And what we have to understand is just that it's undervalued. But I really love what they're doing. It's strategic. It's brilliant. It's an outright smart decision by BLNK. So now I have another business I can invest in that is directly in the advertisement business and charging business. That's exactly what I wanted. Perfect timing. By the way, I was already invested in BLNK before I knew this information. And recently, since the shutdown, since the acquisition of Volta, I've started investing more in BLNK before I knew this information. But that's one of the reasons I've always just liked BLNK. So that is it for this video. I still think the shares are deadly undervalued. I still think the shares should be at least double the price, realistically, double the market cap. Yeah, maybe 1.5 billion in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. But I do believe it's undervalued, and I do believe it should be double the price. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more, and I'll see you in our next video.